there. Good morning. Thanks for joining us here on First Take. Skip Bayless, Molly Karam here in Bristol. Stephen A. joins us from Cleveland, and we'll dive into the Cavs in just a bit. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. How y'all doing?
Good.
You know, for somebody who doesn't love Cleveland, you sure spend a lot of time in Cleveland.
Well, over the last couple of weeks, sure, I had to be here for the beatdown that Golden State handed to them last Monday. And we all know why I'm here today, to talk to Coach Tyronn Lue. So
well, now we know
is.
for sure.
That's what that's all about. Trust me, there are better places to be than Cleveland, Ohio. Love the city, love the fans, everything. But
sure, I got it.
It ain't South Beach.
All I care about is you didn't make it for last night's game, so last night's game does not count. Thank you.
Well, last night's game shouldn't count because why the hell was it on NBA TV
I don't know.
instead of TNT or ESPN? The hotel didn't have it. I had to go to a bar to watch it.
Yeah.
I mean, what the hell is that about?
It's just to get under your skin a little bit.
Yeah, it did.
Make your life difficult.
It did.
Like I do.
You know, NBA. I love NBA. You know that. But, I mean, come on now. ESPN, TNT. Somebody help me out here. How in God's name was the biggest game of the regular season thus far on NBA TV? I don't understand that.
I like NBA TV myself.
I like it, too. Just not last night. Yeah. Make sure every hotel has it. Could you do that? Could you do that?
That's too bad.
Well, today's show does count, so let's debate, people. Let's work. Another day at the office for the Warriors, making light work of a Spurs team sans Tim Duncan. It was San Antonio's worst loss since March of 2013. In the last 8 days, Golden State has steamrolled the Cavs, the Bulls, and the Spurs by 30-plus points. Skip, what's your reaction to the Spurs getting blown out?
Stephen A. Smith. Quite obviously, do I even need to acknowledge this publicly? My Spurs were completely and utterly overmatched and embarrassed on both ends of the floor by a team that right now, is completely out of my Spurs league. My Spurs have no answer for anybody on that team, especially Steph Curry, because nobody right now has any answer for Steph Curry or the Golden State Warriors. And last night, I saw the Warriors, in the biggest regular season game ever, take their game up to a level of intensity that my Spurs do not know, a level of ferocity, dare I say, of urgency, of every possession, we're going to stick it down your throat, Spurs, kind of ferocity that I haven't seen in a while, and my Spurs could not deal with. Now, here's my point, and I tweeted about this, so this isn't 20/20 hindsight. I tweeted before the game about this. I believe that Coach Popovich saw this coming. I believe he saw what the Warriors had just done to Cleveland in Cleveland, and as Molly said, to Chicago in Chicago. And he decided to sit Tim Duncan, who I do not believe is hurt, but that's just my 2 cents from a distance. But I believe he decided to sit Tim Duncan just to leave a little sliver of doubt in Golden State's mind that, hey, maybe Duncan's mere presence, especially on the defensive end, will change things just enough when these two teams meet on, March 19th at San Antonio, or certainly if they meet again in the playoffs, that Duncan's presence alone will be just enough. That's why I believe he sat him last night. I watched Tim Duncan Friday night, played 20 minutes in a rout of the Lakers at L.A., looked fine to me. I don't know, I think he always has some knee discomfort, but he had 2 days to get ready for this greatest game ever and did not play, and I think there was method to that madness because Stephen A. Smith, as I tried to tell you right at the end of the show yesterday, this was not a fair fight without Duncan anchoring and quarterbacking and air traffic controlling the Spurs defense the way he does still at the highest level. There's no better rim protector in the NBA still today than Tim Duncan, just on his sheer savvy and length. And he does change the way things happen because he will not allow layups. And last night, too often, that was just a flat-out humiliating layup drill by the home team. So last night, they tried to depend almost solely on their new $20 million man, the next Tim Duncan, quote unquote, LaMarcus Aldridge. And the stage was too big for LaMarcus Aldridge, as frankly it often was when he was playing for Portland. So I've seen enough. I'm still waiting and seeing what will happen when Tim Duncan returns to that lineup against Golden State, because we still have a long, long way to go.
Skip Bayless, what I took from the game, more importantly than anything else, is that Steph Curry is a superstar. I mean, he is a guy that shines brightest when the lights are shining bright. He doesn't shrink from the moment. He seems to gravitate from it like a moth to a flame. This dude is on another level. And what he did in that first quarter and what he did in that third quarter, those were the two momentum quarters, obviously, after they were up by 15 at the half. He's simply unguardable. It's just that simple. Yes, San Antonio was sloppy with 25 turnovers there for the game. There's no doubt about that. But Steph Curry came out and just showed the world that he is simply on another level. Right now, he's the runaway choice for the league MVP. We didn't even have him in a conversation thinking that everybody was going to come at him. He was going to do his thing, but at the same time, the Russell Westbrooks of the world and others were going to step up. And that is, by the way, still the game that I am waiting for. I'm going to say more of a degree to Russell Westbrook and to a lesser degree Kevin Durant. I can't see the style and brand of basketball that the Golden State Warriors play. It's right up Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant's alley. I think they're going to embrace the challenge. I think they are watching the annihilations that Golden State is putting before them on a night-in, night-out basis whenever the lights shine brightest. And if there's anybody that I have faith in that will step up and rise to that challenge and say, hell no, I ain't having it, it's Russell Westbrook. I'm not saying they'll win on the night before the Super Bowl, but I'm saying it will be close. That is the game I have been saying all year that I have been looking forward to. I can't wait for that game. I'm so hyped for that game. I will be there for that game. Yes, it will count, and I expect a highly competitive matchup. Last night, however, was different. I didn't expect a 30-point blowout. I thought it would be much closer than that, with or without Tim Duncan. I'm incredibly disappointed with LaMarcus Aldridge. You're the new $80+ million man. You're 6'11". You've got the game that you have. You know, you've got all-star talent. What did this guy do? 5 points on 9 shots? There are minus 20 when you're on the court. I mean, come on, LaMarcus Aldridge, you have got to step up. Denny Green, you have got to step up. 3 points in 22 minutes, only 4 shot attempts. Come on now, you've got to give me better than that. Manu Ginobili is inconsistent up and down, but, you know, as the season progresses, he'll be fine. But I definitely expected to see more from LaMarcus Aldridge, and it was incredibly disappointing that he didn't show up. He was a no-show last night. With that being said, it has nothing to do with what we saw. Golden State is just on another level right now. They're head and shoulders above everybody else. I can tell you right now, based on what I'm seeing, I don't see any chance in hell how anybody in the Eastern Conference, whether it's Cleveland or if there's a miracle, somebody else is going to even compete with the Golden State Warriors, because you've got to be able to compete with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, and I don't see anyone out of Oklahoma City capable of doing that. Guard play dictates success or lack thereof in today's NBA. You can't put a body on them. The hard fouls, you're going to get teed up if not ejected. You can't impede their progress. You can't get physical with them. You can't emulate the bad boy Pistons or the bad boy Knicks with Pat Riley, Anthony Mason, God rest his soul, with Patrick Ewing, Charles Oakley and those boys, or even before that with Ken Bannister and Xavier McDaniel. You can't imitate any of that stuff. Guys get to run around unencumbered and unimpeded, you know, run into their spots, et cetera, and with Steph Curry's ball handling and shot-making skills, that makes him literally unstoppable in today's brand of basketball. And we didn't even get into how they all hit free throws and what have you. They're the #1 offense in the game of basketball. Skip, it's literally what I'm back to what I take from this game. It's not just the greatness of Steph Curry. I'm starting to get scared. I'm literally looking at Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook as saviors, for crying out loud, because the way it's looking right now, they're the only team, because of their unbelievable skills and their ability to compete against opposing guards and opposing backcourts, making perimeter shots, getting to the hole at will, or what have you. Unless the great Greg Popovich, along with San Antonio, comes up with some formula he didn't show us last night, which is entirely possible, by the way, I'm getting to the point where it's literally me sitting back here and saying Oklahoma City is the only shot we have of having an interesting NBA season, because it seems to be Golden State head and shoulders above everybody else, and then everybody else. They are in a class by themselves right now, but they still have not played Oklahoma City and Russell Westbrook. I cannot see this man sitting idly by while we all rave about Steph Curry and letting Steph Curry do the kind of things that he's doing, and Russell Westbrook has nothing to say about it. I just can't see it. It's my only hope of this season being interesting, because Golden State is starting to make it boring with their dominance.
Okay,
they really
are we talking about the same Oklahoma City Thunder who just lost to the Nets? That Thunder?
Yep.
Okay, that one. Okay, I just want to keep that in perspective.
Who also were like 30-12 just a couple of games ago, creeping up on San Antonio and Golden State. I don't see it. Listen, I'm not saying I see it.
Yeah, I know.
I'm simply saying that if you turn it into that kind of battle, you never know.
Okay, here's my takeaway. What has shocked me, what I did not see coming before this season started, is that Golden State is way better than Golden State was last year when they won the championship.
Same here.
That's what I didn't see it coming, because Draymond Green is starting to threaten LeBron James as the best point forward in basketball. He passes the basketball with that gift that LeBron has. Backdoor cuts, bounce passes. He threaded the needle last night 3 times. I said, that is so uncoachable, unteachable, so great, and it makes that offense click at such a high level that, as you say, when Steph is making shots from San Francisco while they're playing in Oakland, and all of a sudden the Spurs are trying Tony Parker on him, Kawhi Leonard on him, Patty Mills on him, Danny Green on him, and every one of them are puppets on his string. Just puppets. They're just flopping around like puppets as he just manipulates them back and forth into the lane. And I got to tell you, Stephen A., Steph's 2-point shots are becoming more spectacular than his 3-point shots. They're so spectacular. His teardrops that he's shooting up into the rafters, that they should count 3 shots, 3 points. They should give him 3 for his 2-point shots, because they're so spectacular. But I remind you, my Spurs beat this team last year 2 out of 3 in the regular season. I remind you, the Cleveland Cavaliers had this team, or at least that last year's team, down 2-1 in the finals without Kyrie and Kevin Love, and Game 4 in Cleveland in LeBron's house. They were in trouble. This group, I don't know who they are now, but now they have morphed into something that's as special and unstoppable as I have ever seen in all my many years dating to the 70s covering the National Basketball Association. What they just did in about a week's time at Cleveland, at Chicago, San Antonio, it's so spectacular. They're beating these teams by 30 plus, and they were obviously ahead by 43 at Cleveland. That's impossible what they're doing. Nope. And I'm with you. I'm just hoping Pop's got some hidden up the sleeve solution for down the road.
I'm hoping he has something hidden up his sleeve. But again, I caution you about today's rules and how it facilitates play for the guards, which is why I keep bringing up Oklahoma City, because in San Antonio, Tony Parker is aging. Danny Green just doesn't seem ready at times. He can shoot the ball, but what else can he do? You look at Kawhi Leonard, he needs some help. LaMarcus Aldridge didn't appear ready for the big stage.
Nope.
David West was ready. He did his part, but he's a seasoned veteran. He can't do it by himself. And if you go big against Golden State, well, how is that going to neutralize or nullify their speed? And, you know, in terms of their guard play, that's why I keep bringing up Oklahoma City. Kevin Durant is averaging nearly 27 and 8, okay? 27 points, 8 rebounds, nearly. Russell Westbrook is averaging nearly 24 with 10 assists per game. And, oh, by the way, Oklahoma City has won 13 of their last 16 games. So I'm saying to you, regardless of the loss, they're coming. And in terms of their style of play, it's getting to the point where I'm holding out hope that Oklahoma City can do something because Golden State is on the verge of making this season very boring because they are that dominant. I knew they would be a little better. I didn't see this coming. This is on another level, man. It just is.
And Stephen A., to your point, the Warriors host the Thunder. That's on February 6th, Super Bowl Saturday, 9 Eastern on ESPN. That's the first of 3 meetings in less than a month for those two. And your Spurs will face them 3 more times, twice in San Antonio. The next one, March 19th. That's on ABC. Let's switch gears.